Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.
All right, man, we're here, man. What's up? I feel like we've already been on air.
Absolutely.
We haven't been on, but we're officially on now.
Yeah. We here. So this is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Scotty B.
All right, so it's a lot going on, y'all. So bear with us, right? If you are in the comments on Facebook or YouTube, just give us a thumbs up or a hi or something, to let us know that you can hear us, that we look good, that we smell. You can't really smell us through the camera, but whatever. I'm almost certain that we're fine. But I'll say this. Did I say that this is off the record?
You did.
All right. I don't know what the cameraman is doing over there, but
A little better?
I didn't think anything was wrong before.
Oh,
but,
no, it was crooked.
Oh, I can't tell. Maybe I'm crooked. So.
Nah, it was crooked before, so I had to fix it. But how's your week been, man?
This has been a dope week. Last Friday, we had our ring ceremony, so we got our rings. I was gonna bring it inside here, but I'll bring it next week. It's been cool to see the hard work that the guys put in, and to see their faces when they got their ring, when they actually opened up that box, was something special. It was one of those like, yeah, we did it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
So that was ultimately the highlight of my weekend and my week. I mean, there's other stuff that has happened, but as far as me, that nothing was higher than that. Well, aside from my daughter coming home for spring break, but aside from that, everything else was cool.
Okay.
What about you?
So this weekend, it was my grandmother's 90th birthday. So we went to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
It was an adventure, right? So this is the first road trip I took with the kids and the wife.
Okay.
To where there was no planes involved. I drove 7 hours. Now, when I grew up, we used to be in the car 10, 15 hours, and
Right.
it just was what it was.
Right.
Shout out to my parents, because I don't know how they did it. I managed. My kids were on their best behavior, but I swear, I'm just not built like that, man. Anything over 4 hours, I may have to fly. Maybe 5 hours is the limit. It's
because it take a toll on you after. I mean, it's like you need like 2-3 days at our advanced age. At our advanced age, you need
you need that recovery. I mean, you waste a day driving, thinking that you're saving money, but at this point, I guess like our time is a little bit more valuable. So that was a lesson that I learned.
You don't have that young man just energy. Like we drove from Petersburg to Miami and got there, was like, yo, let's go. Man, we do that now.
Oh no!
We get to Miami, you might as well just. We're done. We're done. I'm done. I can't. Yeah, so I definitely understand that. And it's like, did you have to go through the mountains to go to Cleveland?
Yes.
That's crazy, right?
Pennsylvania. You think about Philly, but then you start thinking about Pennsylvania. You start looking like, man, all these mountains and all this snow, but. Now, overall, it was a good trip, but let's get into it, man. Where you want to start?
So You had the combine last week.
Okay.
You had the combine last week. You had the yesterday was the last. You had until 4 or 3 o'clock to franchise tag somebody, or before you could franchise tag somebody. Let's start with the combine, because I think that's going to work our way to this to the franchise tag stuff, and the guys that got tagged, the guys that didn't get tagged, the guys that got new contracts. So the combine, what was your biggest takeaway, or who was the standout at the combine for you?
So the person that I liked, that I enjoyed watching, I think is going to be really good. And I hate to say this, but CJ Stroud.
Okay.
I was very impressed with his ability to throw,
Mm-hmm.
the touch that he displayed on the ball, and just overall, I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. The guy that I was most impressed with was the quarterback for Florida,
Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson.
Mm-hmm. He stole the show.
He stole the show. They say he could be boom or bust. I'm willing to bet that more than likely he's going to be boom. That guy is athletic.
Where do you see him going?
I think, honestly, I don't know where I could see him going. So this is what he's going to need. He's going to need a year to sit.
He don't need more than a year.
Yeah. So he's got to get into a situation where it's a solid quarterback. Maybe they're on their way out.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're going to talk about this a little bit, but I think maybe New Orleans.
New Orleans?
Yeah, I don't know if he drops that far, but the reason why I'm saying New Orleans is Derek Carr is not going to be the franchise quarterback, right?
Oh, okay, here we go.
No. We'll get more into that. Right?
Okay.
So I see him there as more of a placeholder, right? He's upgrade, but I didn't think it was a significant upgrade. Like I thought, like when I saw Derek Carr,
Mm-hmm.
it was like you ever have your friend that has like a 2021 Altima, and then like the next year, like they have the 2023 Altima,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, okay, yeah, you upgraded. Maybe you got some heated seats out there, or maybe it's got a rear.
Hey, why does the Nissan Altima have to catch a straighter like that? That's
No. I mean, Nissan Altima is a nice car. There is nothing wrong with a Nissan Altima, but it is a middle of the pack car. You know, it's not the worst.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the best. I consider Derek Carr a medium quarterback. I mean, average quarterback. He's not the worst, but he's not necessarily the best.
Mm-hmm.
You give him the right situation, and we'll get into that a little bit. Maybe he could be good. I mean, you made up a good point, and I'm just going to bring this out there. You told me when I was a little less thrilled with the Saints picking them up, and you reminded me, well, what if the 49ers have him? You put him in an offense like that, the sky's the limit, right? I'm not going to say that he's going to stink up the joint,
right.
But we'll see. Like we'll have to see. But where I was going with it is, I feel like that's the perfect situation because I don't think that he's the long-term answer for the Saints. I feel like he's an upgrade, but that's somebody that he can come in, he can learn how to be a professional from. He can sit for possibly a year, 2 years, and then Derek Carr hand over the reins. Sort of kind of like with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
You know, you got like a solid quarterback, solid starting quarterback. He's not going to light the league on fire. You can win games with him. You may even win playoff games with him.
Mm-hmm.
But that allows you the time to have your quarterback to actually
playoff games with who?
Huh?
With Derek Carr?
With Alex Smith.
Oh, okay. So I disagree. Actually, I think you may agree, you may not agree. I think honestly, the perfect spot for him would be Seattle. That would be the absolute perfect spot, and here's why. They just gave Geno Smith a new contract, which was, ultimately they gave him a 3-year deal.
Okay.
And so after 2 years, they could be done with him, right? And let's think about somebody like Pete Carroll, right? He's the guy that's gonna take risks on guys. It don't matter, right? Pete Carroll is a risk taker. He has a voice that talks to guys that guys listen to and motivates guys, especially in your first 3 to 4 years, right? And then you just kind of look at them. Well, first of all, you look at Seattle. They made the playoffs, right? They have high picks right now, which normally they don't have high picks. They're normally in like the teens or the 20s, right? So then you just look at some of the guys that he's drafted since he's been in Seattle. Don't worry about Russell Wilson because he was a second or a third round pick. That was fine, but you got somebody like Cam Chancellor, who is at the time when he got drafted, you didn't see safeties like him in the league. He's almost like a linebacker, kind of sort of, but he was a safety. So Richard Sherman, who was a 6'3" corner, that you didn't see no 6'3" corners in the league with long arms. That was a late I think Richard Sherman was a 6th round pick or something like that.
Right.
So he's a late round pick that he took a risk on. Look at the running backs that they like last season, like the Seahawks draft last year. They were like it seemed like everybody they drafted performed for them, and they boom, 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 boom,
So
boom. Right?
They had a good draft last year, but okay, your first argument. What I always have a theory, and you're right. He took a lot of risks, but I think him coaching in the Pac-10 prior to coming to Seattle allowed him to have a jump on all the players that were really good while he was coaching in college. Right? I think his first couple of years as a professional quarterback, he took some risk, but he knew. I don't know if it was because he missed out on some of them at USC. He had the game plan, but I felt like his first couple of years, he went in with an agenda of like, okay, I'm going to take this guy, I want to take that guy. I agree, and I think we're saying the same thing, just different teams. And the Saints isn't the end all be all.
Right.
I think where we agree at is a solid quarterback that you don't have a long-term commitment to, that where you come in, you don't have to necessarily be the guy. The fans aren't going to be like clamoring for you. You can sit back and you run. I think like you take a guy like Geno Smith, right? He is an example of if a guy sits, you don't necessarily know how good he could be. Because, it used to be quarterbacks need to sit for a couple of years, learn the game, to get their opportunity. Then we started going to, I guess, the mentality that your best opportunity of winning is having the quarterback on a rookie deal, built the team around everybody else but the quarterback. So now you see a lot of guys that they're coming into the league, they're not necessarily ready to play. If they would have sat for like a year, maybe 2 years, maybe they would have been better. Like you look at a guy like your guy Tua, your guy Baker Mayfield. How good could those guys have been if
everybody's my guy?
And they're your guys, man. I mean, Baker was your guy once upon a time, man. He was your guy, yeah.
It's no Burrow, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. But if he would have sat in all seriousness, every quarterback drafted's not a day one starter. But we throw a lot of them to the wolves and say, here, you're the savior of this franchise. Let's get you out there and let's see what you're doing.
No, I get that. And we're I guess my biggest fear or question with Richardson is his inexperience. He only has 13 starts. The first thing I thought about was Trey Lance. I said, "Oh my God, here we go again." And we really don't know what Trey Lance can do. Now, me personally, I ain't a 49ers fan, and you may not even agree with this, but I don't think he should have been the starter day one this season. This past season, to me, he didn't look like he was ready. Right? I felt like Garoppolo gave you guys the best chance to win. Right? And again, we couldn't really see that because he got hurt super early in the season. They put Garoppolo in, but from what I saw in last year, and I know last year he was a rookie last year, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it was like they did all those trades to get him. I didn't think he was ready yet, right? Even if he came in halfway through this season, I mean, I guess we wouldn't have saw Brock Purdy. But now the 49ers don't know what they're going to do, right? And we'll get to them in a moment.
So you're right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give us the best chance of winning, but it goes back to what you said. If you draft a guy like that that's only got 13 games,
mm-hmm.
same with Trey Lance, he didn't play a lot of football.
Mm-hmm.
So when you invest as much as we or the 49ers invested in Trey Lance, at some point, you had to. And it's one of those things where it was like Garoppolo, he gives you the best chance of winning, but he's not. He's a middle of the pack quarterback too, right? So
mm-hmm.
he's done his job. I'm not going to throw dirt on his name because he's done everything that he's supposed to do. But if you got Garoppolo, you got this guy that you've given up all these draft picks. He's supposed to be the future of the franchise. And what he needs to be successful is reps.
Right.
And you say this all the time. I mean, you can't just sit on the sidelines. You can if you've played 4 years of college football, right? If you play 4 or 5 years of college football to where you've been a starter for 4 or 5 years and
mm-hmm.
you've gotten out there and you've got that football acumen because you've been playing, by all means. But if you've only played 1 year, we got to get you some experience in there. And the only way to do that is throw them in the wolves.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know if that's the way you because you can wreck your franchise that way. And I guess it depends on the team and how the team is built, right? So a team like the 49ers, which most people say they were a quarterback away, right? They say they were a quarterback away. You would think that you would go with the more experienced guy and bring the other guy in.
I don't think we was a quarterback away with Garoppolo. I think we were a quarterback away once the season started unfolding,
mm-hmm.
and we made the trade for Christian McCaffrey. I think once we made the trade for Christian McCaffrey, you really started to see the potential. Then we became a quarterback away. So it's a couple of things, right? Number one, there's been a lot of talk, and it's foolishness, but it's out there. Mm-hmm. A lot of the fan base is clamoring for Lamar Jackson.
We don't hold that thought because we're going to get to Lamar Jackson. We're going to get to Lamar Jackson. Let's finish this draft talk real quick. Who do you think will be the steal of this draft?
CJ Stroud.
That's not really a steal, but I get you. Me personally, and all y'all watching, don't kill me. Don't. I think, and I said it last week, but I feel like the quarterback from TCU will be a day one starter, and he will end up being the best quarterback in this draft.
We'll have to see. I think CJ Stroud is going to be the best quarterback. I don't know what made me change or transition to that, but when I watched him, he stood out to me. Other than Anthony Richardson, he did too. Okay, so let's get into it. We have to get into it.
So here's the thing. The franchise. The first day to tag someone I'm sorry, the last day to tag someone was yesterday,
Okay.
March 7th at 3 p.m. And it was, I think everyone figured that Lamar Jackson would get tagged. But it was, will he get the exclusive tag or the non-exclusive tag? Now, I will say this. One of our friends, Phil, who he's been on the show, he's probably watching right now, he called me and said, Ant, I think that they're going to give him the non-exclusive tag. And I'm like, well, if they do that, it's a wrap. I think that'll be the dumbest move that they could do, giving him the non-exclusive tag. And, and he said, and this is before I heard it from on TV, that it'll give them the opportunity to give Lamar an opportunity to negotiate with teams, and they can see where they can get to if they want to match that or whatever. So Lamar Jackson, they ended up giving a non-exclusive tag, which is $32 million, slap in the face. But I guess it depends on which side you look at it from. Most people look at it from it's disrespectful, it's a slap in the face. How they treating a former MVP like this? The other people say, well, it gives them a chance to negotiate and see where the actual market is for Lamar Jackson, right? Now, once he got tagged, you saw teams say they're out on Lamar Jackson, right? And the first thing I said was, here we go with the BS, because you wouldn't see that with Josh Allen, or you're not going to see it with Joe Burrow, or you're not going to see it with Justin Herbert or Jalen. Well, maybe Jalen Hurts. You just don't know, right? So then, I started saying, well, Miami's out. They don't have a first round pick this year. Then you had the 49ers was out. They don't have no first round picks. Washington is out. Can't remember if they have any first round picks, but I don't think they have like the funds right there, because you got to have whatever it is that you got to have that like now. And they don't have it. Who was the other team? I said the Dolphins. The Falcons. That's the one that I was like, what? And the Raiders. So with that being said, I came to the realization that this is all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Oh no, I think it was the smartest thing they could have done.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Ravens, they realize that it's not a market there for him. And the reason why it's not a market there for him, and he wants that fully guaranteed money, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't blame him. He's an MVP. He's done more in this league than Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
So in his mind, and rightfully so, he should have more guaranteed money. Unfortunately, the league does not value a running quarterback that takes the amount of hits and has the injury history the way that he values himself. Now, talent-wise, he's got the talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you start talking fully guaranteed money and you look at his ability to stay healthy and the amount of hits your quarterback takes and how long they're actually going to be available to you,
Mm-hmm.
teams are going to be out on that. Now, it's not really the $260 million. Like, he can get that, and teams will give him that. It's just, I don't think the team really wants to give him more than 150 or 160 guaranteed.
All right, so go figure. We disagree. We disagree. Because one thing you just said, and I think that you're absolutely wrong. I don't think you could have been any more wrong, but that there's not a market for him. There's clearly a market for him because he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. And so let's get that out the way. The injury history is overblown, and this is why. If Lamar Jackson had a contract last year, he would have been playing for the Ravens. It got to the point where he said, I'm not gonna take these unnecessary hits, and he understood where they stood. Now, was he injured? Probably. And here's the thing: it's not like he got injured from running the ball. It's not like he got injured from running the ball. He get a lot of times if he's gotten injured, it's from being in the pocket. That's when he hasn't gotten, and he hasn't. And if you look at it, he hasn't really taken any big hits. RG3 took bigger hits than Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson's bigger than RG3. You know, so that's the first thing. That's the second thing. Third, I feel like some of these teams, okay, here's my thing. Let's say a team like the 49ers. And it's not like I'm picking on the 49ers. So you got a guy that is an MVP.
Before you talk, I didn't say the 49ers shouldn't go get him.
No, I know. I know. No. This is from an owner's point of view, or me on the outside looking in.
I'm just saying. Well, yeah.
So you telling me you wouldn't give up 2 first-round picks for a guy who's 26 years old, won an MVP, unanimous MVP, has one of the highest winning percentages as a starter in league history, but you would give up 3 first-round picks for a guy coming out of college that had 15 starts? Some things just don't make sense. Again, and that's why it says, are these owners colluding against because of that Deshaun Watson?
It's not the picks. I guarantee you that those teams that give up the picks, it's the guaranteed money.
It don't matter. It don't matter because the picks make a part, because you're gonna have to give up those picks if you're gonna have to give up the picks and the money.
Yeah, I don't think teams have a problem.
I think they do. I no. Again, yes, I agree. It's the guaranteed money, and that's where the collusion part comes in. Because if James Haslam, who gave Deshaun Watson all that money, he gave him all that money, and now those other 31 owners are saying, don't do this bull crap. Don't do what Jimmy over here did. You know, we can't have like the old Texans owner said, we can't have the prisoners running the asylum. We can't. Somebody's trying to, but no, they can stay out right now. Right now, we ain't letting them in. So
here's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland had to overpay for Deshaun Watson.
Oh, I get it.
They had to overpay. I think a lot of the teams that are sitting back and not willing to give up the fully guaranteed money,
Mm-hmm.
they're thinking under the premise of, hey, the best way to win is spread that money out to other people, get a quarterback on their rookie deal,
Mm-hmm.
and not have to pay him that fully guaranteed money. Now, I will say this. There'll always be a market for Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
It just won't be a market for him under the terms of what he wants and what the non-exclusive franchise tag wants. Because it's a lot if I've got to pay him $260 million fully guaranteed. That's what he wants. Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to give him I give up 2 first-round picks for him. A lot of teams probably do have question marks. If I give him this fully guaranteed money, is he going to be upright enough to play? Now, you mentioned it, right? He didn't get hurt running, but he still got hurt. And when you tie in that fully guaranteed money into that's a risk associated with it. Now, I agree. I would give up Trey Lance. They was talking about Brandon Ayuk. I'd give up the first round pick, and he could come to San Fran, and we'll figure out the rest when he gets there. And I would do it. But
listen,
the owners don't want to do it.
And again, it's only been a day, right?
Right.
He's gonna get that's the other thing. He's gonna get a deal, whether it's from the Ravens or someone else. I think that it was a shock to us. Maybe not, and again, it could be that he doesn't have an agent. To me, that's a BS excuse. It's a BS excuse. It's just an excuse, because if you're gonna negotiate in good faith, then you're gonna negotiate in good faith. If you're gonna BS around because I think there's something too that they offered him $130-something million as for a contract, and I think that's crazy.
So I know two scenarios where the quarterback got fully guaranteed. Sean Watson and it's Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, right?
Right. So Kirk Cousins, he had a dream scenario that he played just well. You know what I mean? Washington kept franchise tagging him. He kept playing on the franchise tag.
Yeah.
He was able to get a 3-year, $84 million
fully
guaranteed.
guaranteed.
Yeah, fully guaranteed.
Which is
it worked in his favor, right? Sean Watson, obviously, the Cleveland Browns felt like they're in a win-now situation. They get Sean Watson. It's worth it. They have been missing on all the quarterbacks. So bringing their free agent quarterback in there. He's going to lead them. They're going to put the pieces around. Now is the time.
Right.
Could it be possible if you're Lamar Jackson, do you say, maybe I'll play for 3 years, 140 guarantee?
No.
You know, and go that route. I know he wants the long-term.
Yeah. I mean, he's only 26, right? Or 25. 25 or 26. So if he gets a 5-year deal, he's still going to get another. Even if he takes a 4-year deal, he's still going to get another contract. My thing is this. They didn't do that to Josh Allen. They didn't. You know, they didn't do. You know, again, Mahomes is in a different class. It is what it is. They didn't do it. I mean, Kyler Murray ended up getting his money. You know, he didn't get franchised. Who else has got paid?
But Kyler Murray didn't have a fully guaranteed contract.
Yeah, and that's fine. So my thing is this. Again, I think I personally am gonna believe. I personally believe that Lamar Jackson is not hung up on a fully guaranteed, right? That's what his people said. They said that is some made up stuff. Again, who knows? They could be lying. But if his people are saying it, I tend to lean that way a little bit. So again, if Deshaun Watson's deal is $230 and somehow they structure it where he's getting $235 fully guaranteed. I mean, not fully guaranteed. A signable one was at $235, but they give him a $500 million contract. I'm not saying that they're going to do that over however many years. Then you do it. If you're going to keep him in the building, one, he deserves it. I mean, here's the thing. I personally feel like this could ruin the Baltimore Ravens from a fan's perspective because one, they've never had a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. Most teams haven't had a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, right? And that's why what Atlanta shocked me so much because that will revive the city in the that. You know how crazy it was when Mike Vick was in Atlanta? How they had the Vick experience and all of these other things?
So let's play devil's advocate, right? So you look at the offense that he plays.
Right.
Teams have to be committed to.
No, they don't.
Well, they don't, right? But the thought process is that we got to be somewhat committed to running the offense that we may have to adjust.
The 49ers offense did the same thing.
But a lot of teams may not be willing to do that. What I think he's going to have to do personally this year, I don't see a deal getting done this year. I think he's going to end up playing on the franchise tag. He's going to have to prove, number one, that he can stay healthy. And number two, they're going to bring in a different offensive coordinator if they already haven't brought in an offense.
The Ravens?
Yeah.
They did. They hired Georgia's offensive coordinator.
Okay, yeah, that's right. They got him. Yeah, we got to talk about that GM too. What do you think about that bull crap they said?
They need to figure out a way to get Ozzie Newsome back in the building. I can tell you now, if Ozzie Newsome was the GM in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson would have had a deal 2 years ago. He would have had a deal 2 years ago, and it wouldn't even have cost him as much. It wouldn't have. They could have 2 years ago. They could have gave Lamar Jackson 5 years, $160 million. 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, or 5 years, 200 million, and nobody would have batted an eye. You know, let's not act like Lamar Jackson is Jalen Hurts, right? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Jalen Hurts, right? But Lamar Jackson can throw the ball, he can run the ball, and he doesn't have to be like a wildcat quarterback.
So let me ask you this, and this is a legitimate question. Do you think the Ravens' inability to bring in talent, and they'll all blame it on the offensive coordinator, right?
Which he should get most of the blame. It's his offense.
He gets most of the blame. But there have been some misses. You know, Bateman, yeah, I mean, I think he's got potential to be good, but
right.
They let Hollywood Brown walk out. It was what it was, right?
Nah, he was trash. But,
yeah, it wasn't like the best opportunity. But do you think that they've done their due diligence to surround him with talent so that he could showcase, like a Jalen Hurts, what he could really do?
Due diligence, maybe, right? But could they have done more? I don't know who they've gone after, right? I don't know if they went after like a AJ Brown. I don't know if they went after like a Diggs or any of those top receivers. You know, I don't know if they tried to trade for DeAndre Hopkins, but they haven't gotten those guys. So we can only go by what we see and what they have. So no, they didn't do a good job of surrounding him with talent.
So a lot of it will go back to the offensive coordinator, right?
Because the type of offense. Right.
If you're a tight end, you're a running back, you like playing in that offense. But if you're a receiver, it's not this ideal offense that you might as well.
You're like a wing T receiver.
Yeah, and I played in a wing T offense. So,
I haven't, and thank God I haven't.
It's terrible.
But my thing is, I get that you know, they just, he hasn't been surrounded by the best talent, and he's done quite a bit. So
no, he hasn't been surrounded by the best talent. I mean he hasn't. Are you ready to get to the winner of the week?
Yeah.
We gotta talk this. And you already know who it is.
And I've been waiting.
Yeah,
I've been waiting. All right, let's get to the winner of the week.
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
All right, so winner of the week, and I don't even think like it could be anybody else. I mean, it was going to be the Ravens GM, believe it or not. But we got to give our winner of the week, John. So if you haven't heard, John Morant has been in a lot of incidents. None of them have been proven, but his latest, he was in a strip club in Colorado after a loss to the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, he was on Instagram Live with a firearm. And it's not the first time that an athlete has done anything stupid. I mean, we've all done stupid stuff. But the reality of it is John Morant, he is the next generation of superstars, of American superstars, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at, it's a lot of talent in the NBA, but a lot of it is foreign talent. The NBA needs him to be a star. And with everything that's going on with Kyrie Irving, he was next in line to get Kyrie Irving's signature shoe. You got Powerade that's out there that is waiting to market him. It's millions and millions and millions of dollars at this guy's it's right there for this guy's taking. And I feel like he's hell-bent on being a worse version of Allen Iverson. You know, Allen Iverson.
I think that's unfair, but
no, I think Allen Iverson would tell you if he was sitting right here that he lost out on a lot of money. Would he do it again? No, probably not. You know what I mean? Or maybe he would do it a little bit different. But John Morant, man, he's heading down the same direction. Man. What are your thoughts? That's all right, AI, for catching that straight.
That's where I'm going to start. I don't even want to go because I think that is the most unfair thing that you can say because AI did not get in legal trouble. He didn't. He didn't get in no gun trouble. He didn't get now the thing with AI, and I hate that because I'm gonna get back to John in 1 second. But I heard somebody else say this, and it kind of was like because AI was literally true to himself, right? I think a lot of people think that John Morant is trying to be something that he's not. I don't know John Morant personally, so I can't tell you if he's hood or not, right?
I think he's being true to himself too, just like Allen Iverson.
Okay, no, but the thing with Allen Iverson, he was bigger than he was one of those guys that you could possibly say was bigger than the league, right? Like he was one of those guys that stood. He was because he ultimately brought this culture to the NBA, and that's ultimately what it was. He had the baggy, and at that time, while we were wearing those type of clothes, I don't know. I still to this day look at some old pictures and say, why in the world was I 190 pounds wearing a size 44 pair of jeans? It made absolutely no sense. My white tee came down to my knees. It's the dumbest crap. We dressed really bad.
Right.
And we dressed bad back then. Now, I think that is unfair because he didn't really get into legal trouble like that. He never got into anything even this remotely this big.
I don't think the comparison is about legal trouble. I think the comparison is more being yourself to a detriment. Now, some people are just hell bent that they're going to continue to be themselves no matter what. You know, what I mean, they're going to be who they are. They're going to stay true to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like we don't know John Morant, right? So I'm not going to sit here and call him soft. I'm not going to say that he's not a thug. I'm not going to say that he doesn't belong in the trap. He could very well be all those things, right? I didn't think Aaron Hernandez was any of those things, and I was wrong, you know, about him. So we don't really know those guys personally. Aaron Hernandez.
He was a bit different.
Yeah,
he was a bit different.
He was a bit different. But I would never guess it, right? So I'm not going to sit there and say that John Morant is not who he's portraying or he's trying to be, but he's being himself, right? Let's just take that at face value. He's being who he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's hanging out with his guys. He's getting some bad advice. He's being who he is. Allen Iverson, whether or not we all agree with it, he was who he was, right? He took a beating for being who he was. But if you look back at it, the league wanted to market Allen Iverson. And they would have marketed Allen Iverson more. Now, he stayed true to himself. I can't take that away. He took the beating for everybody for that. John Morant seems to be doing the same thing. Now, like you said, it's a big difference with legal issues, but it's no difference in somebody saying, this is who I am. I'm not changing for anybody. This is what I like to do. Get with it and go from there. And that's where I'm drawing the comparison to Allen Iverson.
All right, but I know 2 weeks ago, John Morant was on top of the world. So I'll say this. Let me get back, and because it'll tie into where I was at in regards to that. So in the case of John Morant, so is he doing foolish things? Yes. And I know people are gonna go straight to the money and say, you know, but you got all this money, you got all this talent. Yeah. We still gotta remember that this guy is 23 years old, right? And he's 23. I remember this dumb crap we got into when we were 23, right? Like the dumbest things. I don't want to hear, yeah, but we didn't have $200 and something million sitting on the table. No, but relative to what we had going on at that time, we had a lot to lose, right? Right? Like myself, you were because you got into the government early, right? You got an intern, whatever. I had 2 kids, or I had a kid at the time, right? So if we would have got caught doing any of the stupid things that we did at that time, our whole lives could have changed, right? And so yes, what he did was dumb. And I'm not excusing his actions at all. But how the thing I ask to people is, so how does he fix it? What advice can you give to him to fix it? Whether he listens or not, it's just is no different than one of these kids out at state or whoever that like, all right, so yeah, you can lecture them, you can say all of these things, but is it just gonna be a pile on session, or are we gonna say, all right, now this happened, you need to fix it, and you need to do X, Y, and Z, or are we just gonna say we just gonna pile on and push them away?
No, so here's where I'm at with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the golden opportunity.
Absolutely.
And we all didn't have that opportunity. We don't know what it's like to be in his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, this time away can make him realize that he can lose. Right now, not only is he hurting himself, he's really hurting his team because his team needs him more than ever now. I mean, the West is just that tight, and his team wasn't particularly playing too well. I mean, everybody is on the playoff run.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
yep.
Ideally, they've got to see Golden State 2 more times, the Kings, but they're making a push, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it's tight, but between 4 to 13 or 14 is really tight. So I get that. In the case, but with just Ja, like I know people was talking about. I know some people were trying to throw out. He might get suspended for 50 games. You know, will he probably get suspended for more games?
He should. Well, it's only 4 more, right? Yeah. So he shouldn't really be.
Oh, so they say he got 4 more games.
He's got 4 more games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Colorado is an open concealed state, right?
Mm-hmm. He's not going to get charged.
Right, he's not going to get charged. I think it's only illegal if you're intoxicated.
And they couldn't tell.
Yeah, they couldn't tell if he was intoxicated. So he might end up just getting a slap on the wrist for it.
Mm-hmm.
He's already missed 2 games. He's going to miss 4 more. I mean, really honestly, the Pacers incident, I don't know if you heard about that, right?
Which one? With the kid?
No, I ain't going to get to the kid. Supposedly his car drove past the Pacer tee and had a red dot laser.
I did hear about that. I heard that was a few weeks ago. I remember that.
Drive by, and then he had the thing where he was at I guess a pickup game. And he beat up.
So that was in the summer, I thought.
Yeah, it might have been the summer, but he beat up like a teenager.
And then supposedly he flashed a gun.
Yeah, and then he had the incident, the Foot Locker incident, where he went up there because somebody like cursed out his mom, so he was trying to meet the security guard in the parking lot, and then he got this
again. So you know what this sounds like? A bunch of immature bull crap. I don't even want to curse right now. Stuff that sounds like, no, if you don't sit your ass down, and so it sounds like a lot of immaturity type stuff.
But that's why I say he's blowing it, and you're right. It is a bunch of immaturity. And you're right. He is young, and it's different because what did you say? He's 23 years old. Mm-hmm. So
like a new 23.
Yeah. So it's a lot going on,
mm-hmm.
but at the same time, like he's lucky that all those things haven't stuck yet, and it's early enough in his career to where if maybe they teach him how to make better decisions,
mm-hmm.
like he's got to really understand the magnitude of what opportunity he has, and only he can realize that, right? Because I don't want to talk bad about his pops. I don't know his pops. I don't
mm-hmm.
know what type of father he is or anything like that. But it seems like he's right there with him. You know what I mean? Like he's at the games. I saw a clip. Somebody had posted something in the club, and his father was right there with him. So they've got to figure out how to get somebody in his circle that is going to be a voice of reason and convince him. And look, John Morant, I mean, if you want, you pay me what I make now, I got you.
So I'll say this. No, so I'll say this because I was thinking about this just a day or so ago, and I was like, he needs. I might have posted this on Twitter or something like that, but he needs a mentor, right? He needs a mentor, who and it could be somebody that's been affiliated with the NBA, whether it was a former player, whether it was somebody that was affiliated with a former player that is well respected by all the players. You know, you always have some like World Wild West. You know, everybody knows him. He's well respected, right? But even if it's like a current player, like he needs someone. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Because you know, I know a lot of people was talking about the clip from a few years ago with Carmelo on $1 million worth of game, right? So if the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, because the Nuggets got enough already, they don't need to add nobody else. But if the Grizzlies add someone like a Carmelo, who's been around, who's well respected in the league, and you sign to the league minimum and have him on your team, and you can have this guy. He can almost play like I think he's better than Udonis Haslem, but he can play that role that Udonis Haslem plays in Miami.
I absolutely agree. I mean, we saw it with Barry Stackhouse. He did it for a while.
Yeah.
What's the old guy for the Orlando Magic? I don't want to say it was Tree Rollins. It might have been Tree Rollins.
I know you're talking about.
He played for a long time, but he was that guy. I believe in Washington it was Popeye Jones.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah. I mean, and ultimately, you got somebody that if you need him to come off the bench and get you, because I mean, Melo ain't balling right now, but we've seen the last 2 years what Melo has done in the league, like with Portland, right? We've seen him. Well, he was with the Lakers last, but again, we've seen him like pretty much resurrect his own career, you know, and you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, they do need to do that, but again, it's got to come from him. Like he's got to want to do it, and it's unfortunate that it's all playing out this way. But you know, they'll figure it out. I think the time away is going to help him a little bit.
Absolutely.
You know, he's being drugged on social media. I mean, I saw a clip. This was funny. They had a guy in the trap. And he was just doing all kinds of stuff. It kind of looked like John Morant too, but I actually see it on TikTok. It's somewhere if I can find it, we'll post it. It had on. It was funny. So
yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, John, you got to go through this. You made this bet, right? So that's the one thing I'll say. You made this bet, and nobody did this for you. You made those decisions. Now you do got to live with those consequences, or the decisions based off of the decision that you made. Or so, I just feel like, I mean, I hope, me personally, I hope that they let him after these next 4 games, he comes back and he's able to try and move past it, right?
I think he'll move back past it because when he gets back, he's going to be in the thick of things. The West is that tight. You know, there's 5 more weeks to go. They're number 2. They need them. They need them badly back to defend off the other teams that's coming in the West. So it's
so now that let's go there for a second, right? And I'm gonna tell you like this: the West is getting tight, and the Lakers. I was telling somebody this earlier, right? And I said, one, I don't think the Lakers are going to be in a play-in. I think they're actually going to be in the playoffs, right? And I said, if you have this Anthony Davis and with LeBron coming back, and if LeBron comes back and he's more of a point guard than try to be scorer, like he's going to get his anyway. He's LeBron. He's going to get his anyway. But if he comes back and AD can still average 30 points and whatever rebounds, 15 rebounds, the Lakers can mess around and win a championship.
Oh, No, that's always been there. You know what I mean? I think really if you go down the line in the West to the ninth, is potential in every one of those teams. It's not a talent thing with the Lakers. I
Now it's not.
No, I think that they finally like reshuffled the deck a little bit to get the team where it needs to be. It's a matter of can they stay healthy all at the same time. Like you even look at last year, right? I believe LeBron played 52 games, Anthony Davis played 42 games, and you got Russell Westbrook, and you know a lot of people were saying, well, you know that team was just off. They didn't play together. You know, and that's we saw that reoccurring thing with Brooklyn. I mean, it's one thing to have all those guys, but if they're not on the court together, and that's been the frustration of all Laker fans with Anthony Davis is it's hurt.
Now, hey, he played with an injury yesterday. His nose got cut up, and he still played.
Yeah, I mean, look, Anthony Davis, before he got to the Lakers, was a top 5 player in the NBA. The talent is still there. He's still capable of being a top 5 player in the NBA.
Oh, absolutely. He showed it last night.
Yeah, he's just not healthy. But he needs to take over. He can take over. I mean, he's a bad boy.
So, and I think we got to give Rob Pelinka his flowers, though. The moves he made and the pieces that they got.
I don't know about Flowers yet. It's a little bit early with Flowers.
How? Look at how. So this is why I say he got to give him his flowers because he got, you know, ultimately he got rid of Russ, Pat Bev, Thomas Bryant, and some other pieces. Right?
He got rid of some pieces, and I like what he did to reshuffle the deck. I think that they're more competitive in the West, and I think that, you know, if they can get to that 8th spot, and they've got
they'll be 4, 5, or 6.
They're right there. If they've got Denver the first round, look out.
Denver had Denver the first round.
If Denver's got the number 1 seed and they've got the number 8
they're not going to be 8. I'm gonna tell you that now. They're not going to be 8. They'll be 4, 5, or 6. Trust me. I'm trying to tell you. They'll be 4, 5, or 6, and they're either going to play Phoenix, Kings, or whoever, Memphis,
so
or
let's
whoever.
go through it real quick, right? So you got Denver is first. You got Memphis, and I think we both agree that Memphis is coming out the number 2 spot, especially if they're missing John Morant.
Oh, you mean coming out? Yeah. They're gonna drop.
They're gonna drop. You got the Kings, which are playing really good basketball right now. They're in number 3. I believe you got the Suns. Yeah, the Suns are on 4. The Suns are 3-0 with Kevin Durant. I think those 4 teams, give or take, are right there. I believe you got Dallas at 5.
No, Dallas is at 5.
Dallas is at 5 with Kyrie and Luka. They're surging. I believe the Warriors have crept into 6.
The Warriors are at 6.
Yep, so they're back with Steph. They're back full strength. They're starting to click. They're taking a couple of losses this week. So, you know, they're back right where they need to be. 7th.
Minnesota.
Okay, so Minnesota. I watched Anthony Edwards. They took a slug last night, but I do like what Mike Conley is doing. I think that was a good trade.
Absolutely.
Russell. I mean, it benefits the Lakers too, but
right.
Mike Conley in that offense. You got Karl Anthony Towns that'll be back short. He's coming back pretty soon. Rudy Gobert has struggled all year, but I think he finds his footing. Anthony Edwards is just a man-child. So you got them there. And not to say that the Lakers can't overtake.
So here's the thing. So the Timberwolves and the Clippers have the same record. They're both a game and a half ahead of the Lakers.
Okay, so you gotta like what the Clippers did too.
Okay.
Adding Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, that's big, right? They've They literally went from the 5th spot to the 8th.
Is that competitive? I mean,
No, they keep on losing, but they won last night, or they won their last game.
Yeah, I mean, it's that competitive. So they've got to beat the Clippers too, which I think that they get to the 8th spot. I just think the 5th or 6th is a little aggressive with the way that everybody is playing. I mean, you're thinking 4th, 5th, or 6th. They're not catching the Suns.
I mean, well,
Dallas,
the Suns got a 4.5 game lead on them.
Yeah, Dallas.
That's
I don't know.
two games.
It's 2 games, but I think they're playing pretty good right now. I mean, they've got Kyrie, they're gelling.
And they're losing right now as we speak. So, yeah, I mean.
It's the second quarter.
No, yeah, and that's I get that.
Everybody is in the West except for the Spurs and the Rockets. It is a possibility that any team in the West can make it into the playoffs. And the East, I mean, the squad is kept. It's not as tight as the West, but it's a lot more top heavy. If you look at, the Nuggets, I mean, you look at the top 5 teams in the East, they've got better records than everybody, but the Nuggets. I mean, Milwaukee, they've won 18 out of 19 games.
I just went and saw them play the other day.
Yeah, so they're balling. Boston, I mean, they're playing good ball. Who's number 3 in the East?
Philly.
Oh yeah, Philly. Harden sat out yesterday, but he'll be back. Maxey looks like he's finding his rhythm, and he has been playing pretty good. 4 is
Cleveland.
The Knicks are 5th. Cleveland, I mean, they're right there. Cleveland, the Knicks, they're surging. It's crazy. Well, not really. Typical was underachieving.
Oh man. I mean, I like the way the Knicks been balling though.
I like it too. Who's 6?
The Nets.
Okay, they've been staying right there, so
In Miami. That's yeah, you gotta watch out for Miami. Atlanta's 8, Toronto's 9, and the Wizards are 10. Somehow, some way, the Wizards are finding their way to at least get in the play-in. It's crazy.
So I think we're going into March Madness. More to come on that because we got Selection Sunday. It's gonna come up, so we'll get the standings. But pretty much everybody already knows UCLA, Houston, Kansas, and Alabama.
You think those are going to be the 4-1 seeds?
So we'll see how that plays out, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, give a little bit picks, give a little bit analysis. But I really do think we are shaping up for great NBA playoffs. It's going to be fun to watch over the next 5 weeks to see as these teams, because every game is starting to matter. I mean, they're
absolutely
down to the stretch to where most of them have 15.
And this is what you should worry about, right? I know they'll end up having a 1 seed, but the Nuggets are 30-4 at home, 16-15 on the road. That's something that people should watch out for, because if you're mediocre on the road, yeah, you'll have home court advantage. But if you take a slug at home by any chance,
that's why I think it's important if they play the Lakers. That I believe personally they can be had. You play an experienced team that can still win and then go home and take care of home court. Yeah, you've got a lot of problems. So that's why I will look at it as the Lakers in that spot.
That's fair. That's fair. And then the what you call it? The playoffs. So I think Milwaukee is probably like I said before, I got Milwaukee, Denver, right? But it could easily be Lakers Lakers Sixers or Suns Sixers or Suns Boston.
Yeah, before I make a prediction, I need to see more in this last run because, to your point, a lot of teams have gotten healthy. A lot of teams have gotten players back, and it's going to be interesting just to see how it all shapes out.
To this, right? Because I think that this thing died. Anyway, before we get out of here, we're going to get your top 10 big men in NBA history.
Okay.
Hold on, because I gotta fix the audio again. My bad, y'all. My bad. Yo, let us know if you can hear it. All right, we back. All right, so
top 10.
all right,
so
go
I
ahead.
feel like this, right?
Your top 10 NBA, just centers? You just gonna go centers?
You know, I got 10 big men, but so look, I feel like Chamberlain and Russell should just already be etched in. They're like the Big E and Pop of like basketball, like you gotta like have them in your top list, right? So we're just gonna assume that they're there, right? And I'm just gonna name 10 more big men.
Okay,
Is that fair?
that's fair. So they're etched in stone.
They're etched in stone.
Okay,
Can't take them away, right?
Okay.
So I gotta go Kareem, and in no particular order, right? Got Shaq.
Okay.
I gotta go Olajuwon.
Okay.
I gotta go Moses Malone.
Okay.
I like Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Go Karl Malone.
Okay.
I'm adding Barkley in there.
Okay. That's fair. He's about for it.
I personally like Dirk. He's in my top.
Okay.
So that's 8 right there. I go Garnett.
Okay.
Yeah, move him in there. There's one other person that I'm missing that I had at the. It's not another center. It's, the Joker.
Of all time?
I'm putting him in there.
That man ran out of plays.
No. So look, I went back and forth, right?
Okay.
So pause. I went back and forth, right? So
Okay.
I started looking at some stuff, and I was like, you got David Robinson, which
You didn't say.
I didn't say.
It's just crazy.
I didn't want to put him in there. I took him out. Took him out because I already had Tim Duncan in there. I didn't want him in there. Yeah, I didn't want him in there. He's not in my list. I didn't want that one.
You're crazy.
Not so much, right? So the Joker. So right now we're separating David Robinson and the Joker. David Robinson, he's got 10 All-Star appearances, right? He's got two rings. I believe He's got one MVP.
I think it's just one. It might
Yeah,
be
I think he's got one MVP and he's got one Finals MVP. Right?
Okay.
Joker has. I mean, he's triple-double machine. He's got the MVPs. He's very well on his way to being one of the best big men of all time.
All right. Can I stop you for a second? I'm gonna read David Robinson's accomplishments.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you were disrespectful. Yeah.
Yeah, I took him out. Yeah,
No,
all
All right. So first of all, he's a Hall of Famer.
He is.
So that's where we're gonna start.
So hold on. Before you read off his accomplishments, you ain't like my list?
No.
What you didn't like about my list?
That David Robinson is not on your list.
So
What?
that's the only complaint that you have is David Robinson wasn't on my list.
Dirk being on there, I'm okay. All right.
Yeah, I've got Dirk over David.
All right. So let me finish.
I got Shaq on there. I don't need David Robinson.
David Robinson gave Shaq to the anyway. Hall of Fame.
There's nobody on that list that's better than Shaq other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I finished giving it because I feel like you're trying to. 10-time All-Star.
Okay, I said that.
2-time NBA champ.
I said that.
8-time All-Defensive Team. I'm not done. The 89-90 Rookie of the Year. He won the one MVP. 94-95 MVP. He is a the 90-91 total rebound champ, 93-94 scoring champ, 91-92 block champ, 10-time All NBA, 1989-90 All Rookie, 91-92 Defensive Player of the Year, which is his second year in the league, but whatever, and NBA 75th anniversary team. Yeah, go ahead and take off one of them foreigners and put David Robinson, and I don't got a problem. It's like, you know what? I'll go to Dirk just to make I'll go to Dirk. So everybody, y'all all heard it. So I'm gonna tell you now. Look, y'all heard my all-time list, right? Now, hold on. Now you got Dirk Nowitzki. You got 14-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA, 2010, 2011 Finals MVP, 2011 NBA champ. He won one championship. 06-07 MVP, NBA 75th anniversary team. That's it. Now you got the Joker.
I think the Joker is going to surpass.
All right, so hold on.
I'll take a Dirk off.
Hold on. Why you say? Because
I won't put David on. I'm taking Dirk off.
I'm glad you're listening. But before we get there,
oh yeah, I talked about Joker is wrong.
The Joker. He's a 5-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA, 15-16 All-Rookie team, 2-time MVP. That's it.
Story's not done.
He ain't even been to a finals.
His story's not done.
Well, damn, he's been in the league how many years? I mean, could you at least get to the finals once? He's been in the league, what, 7 years?
Story is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is his 8th season.
Story is not done.
Okay. All right.
He's going
All right.
to be up there. All right, man. So,
All right.
hey, we gotta get up out of here.
Let's get up out of here because it's sad.
Yeah, you had one problem with David Robinson. You know what? I personally.
Do you have Hakeem Olajuwon up there?
Yeah, I have.
All right, just making sure.
So look, right? I'll be funny. David Robinson has done nothing to me. I just don't like David Robinson. And that's okay, right? Yeah, I mean, you can have like a guy that you just don't like. I don't like him. Now, I can't discredit everything he did in the NBA at all. But I don't like the Admiral, man. I never have, man.
So David Jackson said Ben Wallace over the Joker.
Fuck no.
Ben Wallace is up there, yo. But you know what? Before we get out of here, let's go through Ben Wallace real quick. Let's see what his, because he's a Hall of Famer now.
He's a Hall of Famer, but what is he, like a 7 and 11 guy?
No. What you talking about? What?
Maybe 7 and 12.
What for his?
Oh! You're gonna read off his accomplishments.
Well. Hold on.
I mean, you put him on there. You might as well put Dwight Howard on.
So Dwight Howard should be up there. But anyway,
Dwight Howard almost is honorable mention.
Listen, so you want to know what his numbers are? His points and rebounds? 5.7 points.
I knew it was close to 7.
9.6 rebounds.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any more accomplishments.
But he all right. So you know he had a lot of those. His last like 5 years when he was in Cleveland, and then he was in Chicago the 1 year, then he was in Cleveland, Detroit. Those kind of messed up his numbers because he was at one point he was averaging double-figure rebounds every year. So I'll read off something because he has some nice accomplishments. Hall of Famer, of course, you got to start off with that. 4-time All-Star, 2-time rebound champ, 01-02 block champ, 04 NBA champ, 6-time All-Defensive Team, 5-time All-NBA Team, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year.
It's an impressive career, but I don't know if top 10.
Big Debo.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
All right, we getting up out of here, yo. We getting up out of here. We gonna leave Ben Wallace out of this. I tried, but at least I got David Robinson in there. So, all right, man, it's off the record. I'm Anthony Adebayo. We out of here.
We off the record. Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo. And the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.